Three living systems within the Seoul Forest. The Seoul Forest. The Seoul Forest is located in Songdong-gu, Seoul, South Korea. It is made of over 400,000 trees and housed by 100 different animals. It is used to be a royal hunting forest in the Joseon dynasty. The city government has preserved and transformed it as a place where citizens can experience nature. The forest is now being managed by an organization called the Seoul Forest Park Conservancy. To take advantage of the already existing environment, much of the area has been renovated to preserve the living systems and also to serve as a learning center or park to the open public. Living systems. We have identified three living systems within the Seoul Forest. These are the ecological forest, the wetland area, and the insect garden. First, the ecological forest is a protected natural habitat wildlife area for different types of wild animals like the Manchurian cicadere, the Korean water deer, chipmunks, and elk. As such, most of the area is not open to the public. There are over 100 different animal species here. It is located in a dense canopy of trees that include 100 tree species such as oak, hornbeam, and cherries. Marsh Plants Garden. This is also one of the more remote areas within the Seoul Forest. Within the forest is a swamp where one can find mandarin ducks and mallards. We can also see groves of wetland plants species like reeds, silver banner grass, rose gold willows, water chestnuts, and floating moss. The main lake also contains fish in it. The butterfly garden and insect garden. One can find this in a zone within the forest called the Nature Experience Study Field. Out of the three systems, this one is mostly man-made and is open to the public. The insect botanical garden is contained in a glass dome with wildflowers and butterfly garden. It is home to a variety of plants, flowers, and insects one would not usually encounter, such as the carnivorous pitcher plant. Birds can also be seen in this area, and there are a section for cacti. Systems and interactions. Interaction within and across the three systems are very apparent. For example, the Manchurian cicadere and elk in the ecological forest. There is a place where people can interact with the deer and give them feeds. The staff also leave cut grass for them to eat. Without humans, the deer would still be able to survive by eating wild grass found in the forest and from the pond. Water deer is extinct on most other countries, but it can be found throughout Korea. They inhabit the land alongside the ponds and eat on reeds and grasses. In the wetland, one would find different insects inhabiting the area, and in the deep swamp are fish that feed on other animals and plants like moss. Water from the forest would flow down to the swamp and sustain all the plants and reeds surrounding it. Although butterfly and the insect garden are located in different zones, flying insects and even the birds are seen across all these places search for food. Naturally, the flower garden is home for the bees and other insects. Birds that live in the ecological forest would eat on insects and plants, wetland and gardens. In the gardens, one can find the plant. These are plants that have prey trapping mechanism with a deep cavity filled with digestive liquid. Flying and crawling insects, flies, for instance, are attracted to these plants and get trapped in it. On the question of what makes these systems thrive or perish on human action is obviously a major actor. The forest is under the care of humans and is maintained by humans. Suppose humans were out of the picture, the forest would still thrive because the interaction and the system within it don't need human intervention. It was designed in a way that the needs of living things within it are sustained by other living things. In this particular case, however, preservation of the habitat needs human action, considering that it is located in the city and regulating the traffic of people is necessary to avoid disrupting the natural systems within it. The Seoul Forest is one example of how wildlife can survive even within highly urbanized cities, and that people can interact and maintain and act for its preservation. It is good to know that preservation of wildlife has been successful in this case, and the Seoul Forest continuously receives support for preservation through volunteer activities and donations.